Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in this world. I'm DJ Unification, also known as Double Dragon 912, and today, ladies and gentlemen, I am doing my top 10 Sega Genesis beat 'em ups of all time. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all know back in the 90s, man, it was great to be a 90s kid. You had all type of systems. Nintendo was competing with Sega. Now Sega, it's crazy how life does things. Sega, they third party now, but Sega has some of your greatest beat 'em ups of all time. Appreciate you guys and girls for watching my top 10 NES beat 'em ups of all time. I appreciate that. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this. I ain't gonna hold you up. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 10 has to be Golden Axe 1 and 2. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Golden Axe was a great series. I remember first playing it on Sega Genesis, and you had the Beast Rider. I don't know if they call it Beast Rider. The guy with the sword. You had the hot chick with the sword. Then you had the dwarf with the axe. And basically, it's a great old hack and slash. You're going through this town trying to pretty much save the town people, because you go all over the place. I remember one of them stages, Golden Axe 1 or 2. Might have been 3. You fly on the back of, you be on the back of a turtle, and you be fighting different enemies, and just hack and slash at its finest. If you think about beat 'em ups, ladies and gentlemen, one of the first things that come to your mind has to be Golden Axe. And what else can be said about Golden Axe that hasn't already been said already? Golden Axe is a great game. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Golden Axe on some everything. Please check it out. I implore you. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 10 on my top 10 favorite Sega Genesis beat 'em ups of all time has to be Golden Axe. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep this countdown rolling. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 9 has to be Double Dragon, the arcade game. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I remember I first played this game. My dad, shouts out to Daddy Mac, he used to rent this game for us when the Sega Genesis first came out. And, I had played, I can't remember if I played Double Dragon arcade in the arcade first, or did I play in the Sega Genesis first. I think I played on Sega Genesis, but when you look at the Double Dragon arcade version versus the Sega Genesis version, it looks spot on to me. I ain't see no difference. It was like a spot on side by side comparison. If you did not know, ladies and gentlemen, Double Dragon starred Billy and Jimmy, and they kidnap Marion. At the beginning of the game, they punch her and they take off with her. I mean, boy, these punks, they don't even care. They just punch the good and take it. I mean, come on. These folks don't even care. And of course, you as Billy and Jimmy gotta go through the whole stage and get her back, man, and just clean beat 'em up fun. If it wasn't for Double Dragon, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of these beat 'em ups we got nowadays, which we have some great ones. Y'all know we got some great ones too. They still making Double Dragon games. That's how great Double Dragon is. If it wasn't for the original Double Dragon, we wouldn't have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beat 'em up. We wouldn't have all these beat 'em ups out here. There's so many I can't even name half of them, because there's so many of them. And I'm loving this beat 'em up period we have in right now in the modern day era. I'm so hype. But ladies and gentlemen, when you think about beat 'em ups, the grandfather of beat 'em ups is Double Dragon. They set the mold and everybody else took off running with it. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 9 has to be Double Dragon Arcade. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 8 has to be Growl. Wow. I'll try to do a growl sound. I kind of destroyed it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you did not know Growl first came out in the arcades. And in the arcades, it was actually 4-player co-op. I talked about this briefly in my top 15 arcade beat 'em ups of all time. Y'all want to check that out. Have arcade, I'm tripping. I have a iCard going on up there now, but the Sega Genesis version was actually pretty decent. Unfortunately, because the Sega Genesis wasn't as powerful, as arcade hardware at the time, they watered it down. They made it just one player, but it still was a great beat 'em up game. I remember going through this game. I think I beat this game first on Sega Channel. If y'all remember Sega Channel back in the day, my Sega Channel kids back there, stand up. Y'all remember it. A lot of folks do. I was blessed to have it. But man, Growl is pretty much about you pretty much trying to save the animals. If you're an animal lover, this is your game, because these a whole bunch of poachers trying to just, mess with the animals and mess them up and do harm to them. And this whole game is about you saving animals. And like I said on my previous video, when you save the animals on here, they come back and help you. Like you, if you save the hawks on there, they'll come back and start fighting the enemy for you. You save the lion, they be messing with the lion, he'll grab them and start biting on them for you. So this is an animal lover's dream. If you like animals, this beat 'em up right here is an animal lover's dream. Don't get me wrong, it don't look as good as the arcade version, but it still does the job. It's Growl. It's just torn down version, just one player instead of 4. I ain't got no problem with that. One of my favorite beat 'em up on Sega Genesis of all time. That's why it makes this list. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 8 has to be Growl. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, keeping this party rolling. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 7 has to be the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this was a clean beat 'em up. I remember first playing this game, me and my second youngest brother. We played it on Sega Channel. Like I said, I love Sega Channel back in the day. Sega Channel kids, stand up. And we played it, and pretty much, this was at the time of when the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was the hypest thing ever. You got Tommy, God rest his soul, Jason, Tommy, Jason, Kimberly, hot, and basically you going through like a big episode of the Power Rangers, and you just beat 'em up, and it has your beat 'em up classics, ladies and gentlemen. Man, oh boy, Sega Genesis has some good beat 'em up. Now I think they did make a Super Nintendo version of this game, but I don't think it was 2 players. This one was 2-player co-op. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section. I think the SNES version of it was only 1 player, but this one was 2-player co-op, and it was just a fun game. And you go through its own store, and it's like basically like playing. When you play the beat 'em up, it's basically like watching an episode of Power Rangers. And I was a big Power Rangers fan back in the day. I know a lot of us was, but I done fell off since then. I know Power Rangers still doing this thing, but I fell off since then. But back then, when Power Rangers was at its biggest hype, that was a great game to have, man. You had Trinity was on there, God rest her soul. Just a lot of them was on there, man. And it's just beat 'em up. Beat 'em up classic, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not finna say much more about this Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for Sega Genesis. It was awesome, ladies and gentlemen. I wish they make a remastered version or something. I wish they bring it back out, because this was at the hype of the Power Rangers hype, and just a great beat 'em up to have, ladies and gentlemen. Try to see if y'all can find it. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 7 has to be You Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 6 has to be The Adventures of Batman and Robin. Wow. Now, this was the Sega Genesis version, ladies and gentlemen. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section. The Super Nintendo version of Batman and Robin was totally different. It was like, I think it was made by a whole nother company, and it wasn't co-op. This one was co-op. Me and my second youngest brother, shout out to him, we went through this one and beat it on Sega Channel. A lot of people say that, this game was hard. I don't remember this game being that hard. I'll be honest with you guys and girls. I don't remember this game being that hard. I just remember me and my brothers, me and my second youngest brother, we beat this game together. It was tight. It had, not only did it have your beat 'em up aspect, but it had flying stage where, Batman and Robin will go through a little flying stage shooting the Batmobile and whatever it was. But it was a great beat 'em up, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, made by a totally different team than the Super Nintendo version. I got a chance to play the Super Nintendo version. I didn't like it as much. I like the Sega Genesis version better. A lot of people say this was hard, but I didn't think it was that hard. Like I said, I was all about beat 'em ups back then. Batman had his, his battering range. You can keep shooting them, and Robin had whatever, Batman gave him basically, but he had battering range too, and you go through the game trying to beat the Joker, and it just was, if you watched the show back in the day, Adventures of Batman and Robin, the beat 'em up they made on Sega Genesis, to me, was the better beat 'em up compared to the Super Nintendo one, because I got a chance to play it, and the Sega Genesis one was better in my opinion. But ladies and gentlemen, this is a fine beat 'em up. Try to see if y'all can find and play it. It's off the chain. I love it. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 6 has to be The Adventures of Batman and Robin. Moving right along. Moving right along. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are halfway there. Once again, thank you guys and girls for sticking with me for so long. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 5 has to be Comic Zone. Test 1, 2. Sega. Man, they broke the mold with this one, ladies and gentlemen. I have never seen in my lifetime a game where you got to play, and I think this was the first time I ever seen this, where you are a character inside your own comic books. But basically, if you didn't know, Turner, I remember his name, the main character, he drawing a book, making a whole comic book. And, him and his rat, the next thing you know, his comic book comes to life, and it takes him inside the game, and you got to get out of the game and try to, save your life, because you fighting the enemies that you created. That's crazy, ain't it? Well, this is beat 'em up at its finest, and the aesthetics. Y'all know I'm not a graphics head, but the aesthetics of this game is amazing, ladies and gentlemen. You literally are inside a comic book, and you fighting. And you go through the game, fighting the enemies. You got the bee enemies. You got the pocket head. I know how they sound, because that's how great this game is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, I wish they would make a part 2 of this game. That'd be nice. But this game, I tell you this much, Comic Zone is a tough game. I remember I tried to go back through it not too long ago. I guess I might have lost my skills, but man, I was struggling. I was struggling to go through this game. I beat it the first time, but man, I was struggling to go through this game, ladies and gentlemen. This game wasn't no joke. I think I might have cheated and used the invincibility code. I ain't ashamed to admit it. I ain't got nothing to hide from y'all. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all can find this game, I'm pretty sure it's on some of them Sega Genesis collections they have out there. Pick this game up. This game is highly, highly worth the purchase. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 5 has to be Test 1, 2. Sega Comic Zone. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, down to number 4. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 4 has to be Captain America and the Avengers. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a Data East arcade game. They brought it down to consoles. To me, in my opinion, the Sega Genesis version was a lot better than the Super Nintendo version by miles. And to me, it looked better. And I got a chance to play Super Nintendo version. It didn't play as good as the Sega Genesis version did. To me, the Sega Genesis version was like basically a torn down version of the arcade version. And I love the arcade version. Y'all know I love that because I talked about it in my other video, my top 15 favorite arcade beat 'em ups of all time. But this one, ladies and gentlemen, this was pretty much spot on. Only thing different was the characters was a little bit smaller and it was a little bit tougher because you got continues. But ladies and gentlemen, you play, y'all remember how hyped the end game and all the Marvel movies was. This was way before that. You played with Captain America, Vision. He looked totally different than the Vision y'all know in the movies. Captain America, Vision, Hawkeye, Iron Man, all four of them. It's a 4-player co-op game, but on Sega Genesis they torn it down to 2-player because Sega Genesis can't do all that 4-player co-op. But it's a great game, ladies and gentlemen. You're fighting against Red Skull. He causing all these problems with different villains. And then I used to love, one of my favorite part was, thank you, Quicksilver. When Quicksilver used to run in there, drop you some power pills. Man, it's off the chain. Got hack and slash, beat him up at his finest. And then you can fly on this stage. Captain America, you fly and you go up underwater in this game. Man, this game has some everything. Beat 'em ups in the 90s, ladies and gentlemen. They'll wear that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you. If y'all can, check it out, man. You got a Sega Genesis lying around. Try to see if y'all get Captain America and the Avengers. To me, the Sega Genesis version was way better than the Super Nintendo version, in my opinion. I got the chance to play both of them growing up. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 4 has to be Captain America and the Avengers. Avengers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 3 has to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist was pretty much the Sega version of Turtles in Time. Don't get me wrong, Turtles in Time to me was a better game, but Hyperstone Heist was no slouch. It's a great game, ladies and gentlemen. You played with all 4 of the turtles. This time, Shredder, being Shredder, he done shrunk Manhattan. Last time, the one on Nintendo, Manhattan Project, he raised it up in the sky. This time he shrunk it. Shredder just don't know what to do with himself. I told y'all, Shredder a villain. He gonna stay being a villain. But this game was great, ladies and gentlemen. It had some different stuff on there that the Turtles in Time didn't have. They had like a exclusive character. I forget the guy name from the Sega Genesis. Not Sega Genesis, I'm tripping. From Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the movie. He was in there. I can't remember his name. Toto, I can't remember his name. But I haven't gone across there. He was in there as a boss, and they didn't have as many stages as Turtles in Time did. But it's not no slouch, ladies and gentlemen. You couldn't throw them into the screen. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, it's basically Turtles in Time on Sega Genesis, just a lesser version, because Sega Genesis didn't have that Mode 7. The only reason they could do modes, throw those characters in the screen like that, because Super Nintendo had that Mode 7. But the Sega Genesis version was good, ladies and gentlemen. Great beat 'em up classic. Man, this is Turtles, ladies and gentlemen. What more can be said? Turtles is just turtles. Y'all know Cowabunga, dude. My boy Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael going there trying to get Shredder to bring Manhattan back to being bigger because he done shrunk it. Told y'all, Shredder gonna be a villain through and through. But ladies and gentlemen, you can actually have a chance. You ain't gotta pay all that money. You can play this game on that Cowabunga collection. Get that Cowabunga collection. Y'all can check this game out because, like I said, it may not be as good as Turtles in Time, but it ain't no slouch. This is a great game to have in your collection. So, ladies and gentlemen, coming in, ladies and gentlemen, at number 3 has to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heists. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we down to the last 2. Thank you once again, guys and girls, for sticking with me for so long. Coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 2 has to be Streets of Rage 3. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Streets of Rage 3 catches a lot of flack because, you know, the music wasn't as good as, say, Streets of Rage 2, and a lot of people didn't like it. I enjoyed Streets of Rage 3, ladies and gentlemen. I don't beat that game countless of times. I had to realize the other day how many times I beat that game. What was so tight about this game was the different regional versions. Now, if you played, you know, over there, overseas, it's called Bare Knuckle 3. You play Bare Knuckle 3, it's a totally different storyline than Streets of Rage, you know, the American version. We got Streets of Rage 3. Over there, it's a nuclear bomb that done hit the city, and a lot of people got injured, and next thing you know, you got to find out who's responsible. But over here, all of this is a bunch of Dr. Zan come. He tell you about a bunch of robots that's just doing some crazy stuff, and Mr. X some type of way is still alive, and then they'll kidnap the police chief, and it's a totally different storyline than the one, you know, in the Japan version. Japanese version is like you trying to save the world, but in the American version, Streets of Rage 3 that we got, you only trying to save the city. And also, you can unlock in the Japanese version the gay character Ash. He's unlockable in the Japanese version, but in the American version, you can unlock Ash. You know, they wouldn't have that in America back in the day. Let's see, what else? The girls in the Japanese version, you know, their legs are out. You know, you can see their legs. But in the American version, they covered up their legs. I'm telling y'all, there was totally different regional differences in this game. But besides that, ladies and gentlemen, Streets of Rage 3 is an awesome game, ladies. I love Streets of Rage 3. Great mechanics. You know, some of the music kind of out there. Yuzo Koshiro said it himself that, you know, some of the music was kind of out there. But still, there's some good tracks on there. You just got to listen to it. They'll grow on you. Play it enough time like I have, they'll grow on you. And what was so tight about this game, you know, don't get me wrong, Streets of Rage 3 is a lot harder than Bare Knuckle 3. You know, Japan used to do us like that. They used to always make the American version harder than the Japanese version. You stupid Americans. Anyway, I'm just being silly. Shout out to my Japanese brothers and sisters. I'm just being silly. Don't mind Double Dragon now until I got a sense of humor. Let me stop being silly. But anyways, great game, ladies and gentlemen. Love the beat 'em up mechanics to this game. And pretty much what they did was Streets of Rage 2, they added to it. If it wasn't broke, they didn't try to fix it. They added to it. And it was a great game, ladies and gentlemen. Good little storyline. And you can get 3 endings in this game. That was so tight about that. This game has what they call replay value. 3 different endings you can get into this game. I love Streets of Rage 3, ladies and gentlemen. And also another regional difference. You know, my favorite character, Skate, he's called Skate over here, but in Bare Knuckle 3, he's called Sammy. You know, the regional differences, ladies and gentlemen. Regional differences. And this is a great game, man. You're going to unlock Shiva on this game. You're going to unlock Rue on this game. The Kangaroo, this is when you first saw Kangaroo. And man, great game, man. Love me some Streets of Rage 3. Gets a lot of flack, but Streets of Rage 3 is a great game. Pick this game up, ladies and gentlemen. It's on one of them Sega Genesis classic collections. Check it out. I love it. So coming in, ladies and gentlemen, number 2 has to be Streets of Rage 3. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, my number one favorite Sega Genesis beat 'em up of all time is Streets of Rage 2. Wow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Streets of Rage 2, I can't tell you how many times I done played and beat this game. I done beat this game with my brothers, with some friends. I done beat this game several times, and to me, Streets of Rage 2 never gets old, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently in this storyline, if you didn't know, if you're late to this series, unless you live it on the rock, I'm still going to explain it to you. Mr. X, he come back, and he's more powerful than ever. This time he trying to get his revenge. He done kidnapped your boy Adam, and now you play as Skate. That's my favorite character. Skate, Blaze, hot. You know, Blaze always hot. And Axel, then you got your boy Max on here, the backbreaker. And you go through this game, and what they did with Streets of Rage 1, they just added to it. It wasn't broke. They didn't try to fix it. They added to it, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what made Streets of Rage 2 so amazing, ladies and gentlemen. It's one, like, to me, Streets of Rage 2 probably, if not, probably one of the greatest beat 'em ups of all time. Might be the greatest, but I ain't gonna say that just now, but it's one of the greatest beat 'em ups of all time. I love Streets of Rage 2, ladies and gentlemen. And I remember when we first got this game, our dad rented it for us. Cause, you know, he had already bought Streets of Rage 1 for us, but he bought Streets of Rage 2 for us. We actually rented this one, man. I remember playing with Skate. I was like, man, Skate can just get on the back of the head, just pop, 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 pop. And then you get Max on there. He breaking folks' backs. And man, this game is just amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Then I figured out a code that you're gonna unlock. You're gonna unlock the same character code. I was playing one time. Me and my brothers were playing with 2 Skates and 2 Maxes, and that was always my brother's favorite. He used to play with Max all the time. My favorite was Skate, man. But man, great music. Yuzoko Zero doing his thing. Great beat 'em up. Classic at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. I remember all these stages, every stage. Music is a banger. Just the music. Dreamer probably was the best stage, best music out of this. Y'all know Dreamer. My beat 'em up fans, y'all stand up. Y'all know about Streets of Rage 2, ladies and gentlemen. One of the greatest beat 'em ups of all time. It's up there. I ain't gonna lie to you. Sega just knocked the ball out of the park. And y'all know we wouldn't have got Streets of Rage. It wasn't for shouts out to Capcom fumbling the ball over there with Final Fight. You know, with the Final Fight Super Nintendo version. Sega was like, man, they got Final Fight. We got to figure out how to make our own beat 'em up game. And you know, Yuzoko Zero and everybody got together and made their own beat 'em up classic. Streets of Rage is a beat 'em up that's, I don't say too much about it already. That's what more can be said, because Streets of Rage 2 is that awesome and is that amazing. Love me some Streets of Rage 2, ladies and gentlemen. I do it a disservice by talking too much about it. Y'all know about Streets Ready 2. If you haven't, check it out, ladies and gentlemen. It's on all type of consoles. Yeah, I think it's on every console out there. Check out Streets Ready 2 if you can. You won't be disappointed. That about wraps it up, ladies and gentlemen, for my top 10 favorite Sega Genesis beat 'em ups of all time. Leave comments below, ladies and gentlemen, your top 10 favorite Sega Genesis beat 'em ups of all time. I know I missed some. Let me know about them down in the comment section. I love to hear your thoughts. Not hear your thoughts, but see your thoughts, whatever. Y'all know what I'm saying. Thank you guys and girls so much for watching. Stay tuned for more great videos like this on the way. Double Dragon 912 signing out. Peace out.
Come on!